I look back to when I was 18 years old and arriving at UMass Amherst and the opportunity it gave me as someone who wanted to and needed to put myself through college. It was an amazing opportunity, a time when you could do that. And I think public education is incredibly important. I feel very fortunate to live in a state that has an institution like UMass. I'm Charlie Sennott. I'm the co-founder of GlobalPost, and I'm the executive director of the Ground Truth Project, which is based at WGBH. And Ground Truth is a companion nonprofit to GlobalPost, and we work to train and mentor the next generation to do work that matters, work that can make a difference. I got my start in journalism at UMass. I was involved with radio there, WMUA, the station run by students, and then that led to an internship at WFCR. The first assignment I ever had was covering my own graduation. And I remember very well that whole day of both picking up my diploma and having to rush back to the newsroom to put together a piece on deadline. So after working in radio at WFCR, I went on to get a graduate degree at Columbia University. And from there I did what was then a pretty traditional newspaper path. I started at a smaller newspaper, the Bergen Record, and then came into the city and worked at the New York Daily News. From the New York Daily News, I was hired by the Boston Globe and did special project reporting for the Boston Globe for a couple of years before I was sent abroad, and then became the Middle East bureau chief for the Boston Globe and covered the post 9/11 world. I had such a great experience at UMass that it's hard to narrow it down, but I mean, I really pursued with passion European intellectual history with Will Johnston. That was a class that I'll just never forget. Another really important class for me was that I was very lucky to be there the year that James Baldwin was a 5 college professor based at UMass. And taking a class with James Baldwin was a lifetime experience, something I'll never forget. But I also was taking advantage of art history and the history of jazz, taking so many classes that cut across all these disciplines, from economics to pottery. And I think that's the real strength of a big campus like UMass. Is there's so much opportunity. There's such a landscape for you to explore there, not only in your own department, but across the departments in the humanities, and to reach out into different departments. And that's what a liberal arts education is all about, is learning how to do that, how to negotiate these different disciplines and to understand the world through your own, which in my case was history. People often ask me, do you ever use your degree in history? And my answer is I use it every day. My work in undergraduate studies in history has really shaped my journalism. And I think my major in history has been something I've continued to study throughout my life. I think when you leave the college campus, you don't stop learning or having a passion for what you really got into in college. And for me, it's been just a lifelong process of loving history and really wanting to try to bring it into the work I do every day in the field as a journalist.